If you join me today, that means you specifically are trying to make a gift for somebody or a bulk gifts for maybe a wedding or Mother's Day that's coming up. That's why I put this up together for you. We're going to go ahead and make 4 candles that look just like this. It says cashmere and cocoa butter. It's a luxury scented candle. I made that with my Munbin printer. It looks nice, doesn't it? Awesome. And with the wood burning paste, we did that and we glossed it with polyacrylic. Put that on there. So we're going to go ahead and pour 4 of those today. First, we're going to go ahead and weigh out our wax. We got 24.62 to 24.66 ounces. Because on your scale, we're going to go ahead and add 5% beeswax to the mix, which is going to go ahead and be 1.28 ounces. All right, now that I've got the beeswax in here, I like to mix it up just a little bit. It doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom. And as it's melting, I like to stir it a little. So now it's a little bit homogenized as it melts. We're going to take this Amazon hot plate. We're going to go ahead and kick it up to 4 with this much wax. If it's at least half, I go 4. If it's less than half, I'll go 3. And it'll take 30, 45 minutes to melt probably, but you still got to watch it. Right, while the wax is melting, I'm going to go ahead and pour fragrance oil. The fragrance oil we're going to use is Black Tie Barnes cocoa or cashmere and cocoa butter. It's one of my favorite. And a trick that he taught me was to use some kind of utensil to guide the oil so it doesn't spill out back here and all over the place. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. We're going to go ahead and weigh out. This recipe calls for 2.08 ounces of oil. See, now you're going to place it across it like this. See that? It's flat across it. Make sure to hold it, not just the rubber part, because it might pop out and break. And you're going to hold it, and you're going to point it straight down. Just trust that it's going to follow across it like that. We're going to go ahead and weigh out 2.08. All right, we're just down to a couple of drops. At 2.085 is close enough. All right, well, the wax is melting. You see it's about halfway done. We're going to go ahead and prepare our jars before we do our wicks. I'm going to go ahead and spray it with 99% alcohol. I like to use the Scott brand paper towels. They absorb the wax a lot easier on a cleaner, and they don't leave as much dust behind. And so we'll just go ahead and do that. All right, after I clean them out with alcohol, I go ahead and I stick the wick stickers to the bottom of the wicks, and I set them in each one of these jars. And we'll go ahead and center them in there. These jars actually have a centering point in each one. They're really well made. Just peel off the paper here. Stick it in. I like this little tube. It's made for loom knitting, but it fits these wicks perfectly. All right. We're going to go ahead and set it perfectly right there in the middle. All right. Go ahead and push down on all the points. Faces. We'll go ahead and do that for the rest of these jars. All right. We're going to go ahead and put these wick holders on. And we got 4 bow tie wick holders. Now, people get confused because how you set them off and on and all that. On these vessels, they are perfect for setting them like with the facing up, not going in the thing, but right side up, going tall ways in the center, because the wicks will fit in that groove. If they were fatter, like when I do my 12s, you do it off to the side and sit it like that. These ones, we're going to flip it over and we're going to sit it right in 2 middle ridges like this and pull that wick through. So you notice the wick is a flat braid wick, so you'll find the flat side. Make sure to do your pull test so it works. And boom. See, it's in the middle ridge. Push down, it's tight. I like to fold mine down a little bit. Get it out of the way. After that, I'll do it to the rest of these jars. All right, so now we've got all the wax melted. It just melted, and we're going to check and see what the base temperature of it is using this meat thermometer in Fahrenheit. I like to stir it around just a little bit, so that way it gets an even temperature because it burns at different, or heats up at different spots in different areas. I'll go ahead and go. So right now it's saying it's about 161, 162. About 162 point, yeah, about 162 degrees. So we've got about 23 degrees minimum to go up before I can start adding in food color, or not the food coloring, the candle dye and the fragrance. Real quick before the wax is melted, I want to do a shout out to these wicks I'm using. Now the wicks I'm using on this is called a genuine Weedo Eco 6. I'm not quite sure what the Weedo means. It's an Eco 6. I found these on Amazon even, but you can buy them at matchnotes.com candle supplies. They are great wicks. The quality of them, you can just see. Look at that. And they burn so smooth. But like I said, it's always test first for desired burn and performance. But they perform very well. Now, well, after we've got the vessels prepared here, you can see the wax is almost melted. Got a little bit in there, but right now is when we start stirring it slowly. We want that beeswax and that soy and paraffin wax to homogenize. So I bring it up to just under 190, between 185 and 190 slowly. And I start stirring now when all the wax is almost melted. And then it takes just a little bit longer after that to melt up and bring up to the heat level of like 185. So it's hit at 189, 190 where I wanted it because the beeswax is where I did a little bit 5 extra degrees hotter. I've turned off the heat source. I've got it still on there so it doesn't flash cool too fast. So that way I could go ahead and add in my color first. This recipe, since it's 24, 25, 0.92 wax ounces plus fragrance oil load is supposed to be. So it's all wax. I'm going to do 1 drop. So this is equal to like probably 60% of 1 drop in a pound. We're going to do 1 drop because we want just the softest color, magenta pink. And we'll go ahead and see it. You like the color how it spreads? We'll go ahead and lightly stir it around. Now it'll lighten up quite a bit once it cools down and firms up because of the soy content in it. That's what we're hoping for, is a nice little blushy color. Now, this is the point where I take my fragrance oil. I slowly pour it in everywhere so it doesn't splash or put a lot of air bubbles in. Make sure to get as much of it as you can. A lot of it will drop off. If you add those drops and you look at them on a scale, they'll add whole points on there per drop. So I get it all out. All right. There we go. Now here's where I go slowly back and forth in the S shape for 2 minutes. And minimum of 2 minutes. Not too fast, you don't want to get the air good in there. We'll go ahead and stir that nice pink wax. I've been stirring for about 2 minutes. And the reason why I left it on the heat source is so that way it would slowly cool down. This is going to take more time. But if I take it off the heat source is turned off, but the plate is still hot, so it's transferring heat as it's cooling down slowly. That's going to slow down the cooling process of this wax. So that way it contracts differently and stops the frosting. That's my trick to get rid of the frosting, is slow cooling, but not heating up the ambient temperature. Slowly cooling it in the beginning during the pour temperature so it holds the heat in longer. We've got it pulled out. It's at 155. So instead of 160 like it calls for, I do 155, just 5 degrees smaller, so that way it has less time to restrict and stress out. And we're going to get these perfectly smooth tops. Watch. Now I've got my scale set here and tarred out with everything on it. That way I can get precisely 7 ounces. Perfect 7 ounces. All right. Now the trick after that is set that back down. Now we have a reference of how high to pour the rest of them. Now as the wax cools, it will constrict and retract. Here we go. This is the curing chamber. Well, it's not real curing, it's the cooling chamber. It's controlled. Very middle, you can't really tell. See, I've got that bit of salt. Let's take the humidity out of there because I'm in the 30 and there's been rain. In this closed container right here, cooling down with the cooling rack and some carburetor film below it. Yes, even light can go through, and then it cools in there, and I leave them in there for 12 hours. All right, here we go. We look, see, it's baby soft pink. Almost white, baby soft pink. That's what we wanted. And we're going to go ahead and trim the wicks to 1/4 inch and put the lids on, and they're ready. If you liked what you see and you want to make candles like these, hit subscribe, hit like, and go to my channel. I'll show you how to make candles and wax mounts.